What's up, everybody? This is your man Isaac J. Barron. Welcome to Smooth for Real. And when I mean by smooth for real, you're gonna get the real me, real and raw. So, this topic is one that I have waited for years to discuss, and I waited for good reason. I waited because, for one, I didn't want to be angry when I made it, and didn't want to be sad when I made this video. So here we go. This is going to start like maybe a series of me talking about these different things. But today is September the 14th, 2023, and it marks 6 years yesterday on the 13th that Shannon and I have been married. And when I tell you it has been the most happiest time of my life, even through the struggles, not the struggles with us, but the struggles with life. And I'm going to get more into like what we went through since we've been together, and the struggles that we've overcome, and how you can tell the woman who's for you and how she reacts when you go through hard times. But to celebrate the 6 years of marriage with my babe, I made the decision to come out and speak on some things that have been going on with us since we got into our relationship. And the number one thing that I want to speak on is, I know a lot of you follow her on Facebook or YouTube, here on YouTube, on Mr. and Mrs. Barron, which is our comedy, excuse me, our comedy / lifestyle channel. But on Shannon Geis Barron over on Facebook, she has a pure lifestyle channel, and she talks about her life and the things that go on in society. And she has spoke about family. So this is my time to speak about family. I'm going to jump right on into it. So, for those of you who don't know, I have been married not one, not two, but 3 times. I've been married 3 times. The first time I was 19 years old, and it wasn't my decision all the way. I was a newcomer to, segs. So, your head get gone when you first start experiencing that thing. So, I thought I was in love, but I knew I wasn't. She was the same way. And my parents are pastors. So in their mind, since y'all shacking up, you need to get married. So they forced us into a marriage. It was so forced that we got married in their den. Just to get us married and I guess out of the house. I don't know. But that didn't go well. It didn't last long. So I lived my life a little bit, and I was constantly dealing with her on and off because neither one of us had grown up. And when you have something familiar, you go back to the familiarity until you find the one for you, right? So I did that for a while until I got married the second time. That was also not my decision. It was a young lady that took me through hell and back. That's for another time. We're going to talk about how men go through traumatic relationships like women in another video. So that was hell. And thank God I got out of that. But I learned a lot. We're going to talk about that in another video. But when I met Shannon, I had just turned 31. I'll be 39 on the 18th of September. Happy birthday to you, man. So when I met Shannon, she had been someone that I just knew that I loved her. Even going to school with her, she was a grade above me. So every time I see her, my heart would just, you know how your heart just do about to beat out the frame, right? So push come to shove, and I got on the sauce one night with my two of my cousins, and I told them, I said, man, this girl right here, I put a picture of Shannon up on Facebook. I said, if she give me a chance, I promise you I'll do right. I will do absolutely right if she give me a chance. So with the liquid courage on me, I hit up the inbox. I slid in her DMs. She just so happened to be at work. She just so happened to answer. We talked a couple of times, couple of nights while she was at work. And then she said, you know what? I'm off for the next few days. Here's my number. And I said, boy, you're in there. So we started dating. At first, my mama was like, oh, she's pretty because Shannon is very beautiful. But let's get to. I'm tired of beating around the bush. Okay, from the family that I come from, my mother is a narcissist, and she only wanted to rule my life. Like only she could rule my life. If I wasn't with somebody that she approved of, and the only type of women that she approved of was women that she can run also to keep running me. Thus, the first two marriages. Okay, so Shannon started off sweet as pie. I'm sorry. She started off sweet as pie to Shannon because she was trying to fill her out to manipulate her. But Shannon, I'm not knowing how sharp Shannon is. So push comes to shove, and we started dating, really dating. And then I have an older sister, and she had we had moved into a house together, and she has two of my nephews. So I'm not knowing that they're putting me in this position to be the uncle daddy to my nephews, which I love my nephews. That's not that was never a problem for me. But I heard my sister is with when people are in a painful place, they do painful stuff. So I heard her tell Shannon one night, "We ain't getting married. We don't plan on getting married no more up in this house." And I'm like, "Who the hell who you speaking for?" Even though I was still in a hurt place from the last relationship that I was in, I'm looking at her crazy like, "How are you going to speak for me? And you already got your situation going on, which is her business, but you don't speak for me." And Shannon just looked at her crazy. And another night, when we first started dating, my sister loved to call any female that I had back to her room to whisper in their ear. So she, "Shannon, come here." So Shannon walked back there and they talked for a little bit. But unbeknownst to her, Shannon's a real one. And she came out and told me what she said. She came out and told her that I was crazy, that I was promiscuous, and that I was abusive. So she basically told Shannon to look out for me. Look out for him because he crazy. He'll blow up on you and jump on you. Now I've had my times in my early life that I was abusive, but that comes from being abused at home. See, people don't realize that we as men go through a lot of things. My mother was extremely emotional and physically abusive and extremely narcissistic. And my father was always working. So he'll leave before we get up and go to school, and he'll be home that night. Or, he'll be at home on Sunday mornings, Saturday night to read for his preaching, whatever. But yeah, so it took a lot for me to not dislike women. Not as far as attractively. Of course, I'm attracted to women, but it took a lot for me not to lash out at the women that I was with because of how I was raised. So Shannon came out and told me exactly what she said. And I said, "Man, do you believe that?" She said, "You know what? You have to show me yourself." And she stuck on that ever since then, and we have had a beautiful marriage. But there's a lot of things that have been circulating throughout my family that I'm gonna put it out to the world. You can whisper amongst yourselves, but there's a narrative about my wife that she has control over me. When you leave a family unit that you were always the black sheep, I was always the black sheep, and I was always the one that if somebody's upset, I'll be their punching bag until I blow up. And then when I blow up, it's my fault. He's crazy. So my mother disrespected Shannon from the first moment she saw her. She was at mine and my sister's house at the time, and my sister caused some kind of drama with me. She loved causing drama and stirring up the pot to try to get me up in the uproar. So two of my ex-friends were over there, and we were just hanging out. So my parents come in, and we grown as hell. I'm talking about 30 plus grown. She damn near 40. They come over there lining us grown people up, and she looked Shannon dead in her face, y'all. She didn't know her name, and said, "And you, while you land up in here with him, he not your God. He ain't got any heaven and hell to put you in. You need to spend more time with God." it's her way telling her that she needs to go to church, and to make me seem like the bad guy also. Shannon didn't say a word. So a little bit down the line, I'm going to speed through this a little bit. My sister did is not very tidy, and I don't give a damn who mad about what I'm finna say. So Shannon saw my frustration, so she helped me clean the kitchen. She scrubbed walls, baseboards, and everything like refrigerator, oven, microwave. She scrubbed it all with me. It looked like it had been painted. So my sister was trying to get some money out of my parents, talking about she wanted to fix up the kitchen. But Shannon cleaned it. And my mama came in, she said, this don't need no paint. It just needs to be clean. So my sister flipped from being all buddy with Shannon to she was her enemy. So she made up this whole thing to my mama, saying that Shannon was bullying her in her own house. She told me, she said, Smooth, the Shannon ain't the real Shannon. I said, excuse me? Because by this time I'm laying down and getting up with this woman every night, every morning. She walks out the house. She walks out of the room and say, I knock you, I hit you on your face, and bag me against the wall. She had my nephews lie for her. She had my mama telling me that I need to leave Shannon because she's gonna destroy me and my sister's relationship. But you know what I did? I laughed at them. Because I told them, I said, no, I love her. And y'all not gonna destroy this. You're not gonna destroy this. Well, she's not welcome on my house. I said, ma'am, I pay all the bills. She can come when she damn well please. So that was a rift. Then after that, Shannon had a talk with my mama. They supposed to have this understanding. And I don't know what was said besides what Shannon told me, but she was in the room with her by herself. All right? So we get married. Everybody's okay with it as long as I was doing what everybody wanted me to do. But, I've been dealing with social media, me and Shannon, for about 8 years now. And we decided to move from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and to travel so we can get our social media thing going. And we moved to New Orleans to help out with my acting career, which has been successful on both things. So, my mama would call me and I battle anxiety and depression because of her. My mama would call me, have me spin all in circles, have me so upset, and I just didn't know which way to go. I had nightmares about her until recently because she's such a terror. So one day she called me, my mama called me, and she commenced to, I started trying to work on a relationship with her. So she called me on the phone, and my sister had stopped talking to me because she had sided with some other people in the family that don't like me for God knows what reason. I don't care anymore. But I asked her to do one thing, and that was let me know when somebody real near and dear to my heart passed, when his homegoing service will be. It just so happened to be that person's son. So she didn't call me back. She didn't let me know nothing and just ghosted me. Just ghosted me. The only other time that she hit me up was to act like that I had some mail come to her house, her new house, because she had got a modular home, a trailer. Is this yours? And it was only just to rub in my face that she had a new place to stay. That's all that I heard from her. So, and my father, he was mishandling my money. Me and Shannon's money with our car note. We were paying the car note every month, but he wasn't paying it. So we walk outside in New Orleans one day to go to Pine Bluff to see our mama Donna, and our car gone. So I called this fella, and I said, "Hey man, you know anything about the car?" You know what he tell me? "Oh, they finally got it, huh?" What the hell you mean they finally found it? We had been paying, we had a down spot right when we moved. It was some issues with our pay with the social media platforms. So we had missed like 2 car notes. So we paid both car notes and we paid up for 2 car notes. And then we went on the cruise, and as soon as I sent them a picture, I'm expecting them to be happy for me. He calls and say, you know the car note due. So Stanley got the phone and said, you've been stealing our money. And because this money, I can get you receipts on the money. This before the car was gone, before it got repossessed. So back to when it got repossessed, I called him and he says they finally got it. So I'm like, man, I know my mama gonna stand up for me this time because I know I'm all the way in the right. I call her and she tell me I better figure out how to get that car back because it's in her name and you ain't been paying the car note and your dad ain't lying. I'm like, hold on, I know he lying because I know I paid this car note. So that started a rift. And after that, a few months, almost a year passed, and me and my mama talked again. And I tried to reconnect with her on an excuse me, on an adult level to let her know I'm not a little boy no more. I'm a grown man. And she acted like she understood me. So after that, that's when the phone call came. Like another year. It had been a year again, something. And I tell her, I don't want to talk about my dad and my sister because, we're not vibing like that. She tells me, what do you mean you don't want to talk about them? I'm saying I don't want to talk about them. And if you want to keep a relationship with me, you would respect that. She blows up. And I'm telling her, like, that we were paying that car note, he stole our money, misused it, stole it. If it wasn't paid, hell, it was stolen to me. And that she turned her back on me from somebody else that's not her brother. And my little brother, I'm telling him, like, just chill out because he was such a sweetheart back in the day. And whatever he got into, he started threatening me. And like, drop the addy. I'm like, man, you don't want to play those games with me. So that's why I don't talk to him anymore because he tried to get gangster with me and just, come on, that's he know that didn't make sense. So she started to downgrade me, y'all. She said, you're not a man. That's why you're not a man. You need to stand up and be a man. You'll never be a man. So my wife was outside on the balcony and she's just hovering back and forth. I can see her hovering back and forth in the mirror. And I guess she saw that I was triggered. So Shannon steps in the house. And I'm on speakerphone, so she hears all these people yelling at me. She get the phone. She said, hold on, why are you talking to him like this? Don't do him like this. Because when you stir him up, I'm the one that got to calm him down and bring him back to good mental health. She tells my wife, I don't understand the God y'all serve. So she's one of these religious people that going to church and makes you saved, and makes you saved, but your heart is black. She's one of those. So that set Shannon off because we had been working on our walk with Jesus Christ full throttle, and we haven't stopped. So that really set her off, and she cussed her ass out. For anybody who wanted to know why she got cursed out by Shannon Geist Barron, is because she was disrespectful to her from the first day she met her, and she's disrespectful to her husband. She cussed her out, and if it ever happened again, she'll do it again. So I understand and I know that lies have been spread around about why Shannon cussed her out. She put her in her place because she was being very disrespectful like she had always been. Shannon would leave out of the room and let me and her talk. She said, if you want to work on a relationship with your mother, you can. And I have tried that. But that's why she cussed her ass out. Because she needed to be cursed out. People need to stop letting people who have these fake ass titles, because they sit in the building up on the platform and say that they're prophetess, pastor, reverend, apostle, all of that. If you not following Jesus Christ and showing the love of Jesus Christ, you don't deserve that. And I don't respect them as that. But if people do, then that's on them. But after that, I hadn't talked to her in a long time. And my most recent conversation with her was out of the blues. After another year, 2 years or so, She called and demanded that I buy her a Cowboys jersey for her birthday. I'm like, hold on. How am I doing? Am I sick? Am I doing okay? Am I homeless again? None of that was said. She just demanded that I bought her something. And she texted and I didn't respond. Did you get my text? Yes, I did. How do you feel? I said, I don't feel any kind of way. So she tried to manipulate the situation. And I finally told her that I knew about uh, different things that she has been doing all of my life. And she threw my sister under the bus about. And I don't have to put them people business out there in the street. She said, yes, she is, but I'm not. Okay. So I let her know how I felt. She asked me, were they good parents? I said, no, they were not. And that's my honest opinion. They were not good parents. Did I eat? Yes. Was I clothed? Yes. Did I have a roof over my head? Yes. Did I get uh, vehicles, to drive? Yes. But the love was not there. And I told her that. I said, you are the meanest person that I know. And you are an extreme narcissist. And that is why it's so hard for men to find love and trust women, because a lot of our mamas fucked up. So that's just the first part of what I wanted to talk about. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I hope you can put all the pieces of the puzzle together. And I don't give a damn about who gets mad. I got more to say. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Holla at your boy.